Okay, hello, everyone. How are all of you? Hopefully, you're all doing well. A little faith, Orange appears lost in thought. At the height of Lakeland's prosperity, these sites served not as man's final bastion, but as testament to his ingenuity and architectural prowess. The Church of the First Light was responsible for many such marvels, building majestic chapels in every corner of the realm. Alas, the flood, with its inexorable tides, would drown nigh every one, and did all but put an end to the religion as a whole. For the creatures which then did rise from that fulgent deluge were seen as agents of divine punishment, sent to devour sin and sinner both, whence came the name of Sin Eater. The people were lost, seemingly forsaken by their God. Yet where there is light, there hath ever been shade, and 'twas in the dark they sought solace. The most devout of these worshippers of shadow did then migrate to the raktikka greatwood, but that is a tale for another time. For now, let us find what remaineth of the chapel here. Get this off my map. Aye, this is indeed the church we seek. It's surprisingly intact. What little is left of the churches I've seen until now has always borne the scars of decades of disuse. It is a subterranean construction, hath done much to protect the hall from the ravages of time, yet the reason for its remarkable preservation may be deduced from its decoration. As faith and light did wane, so rose reverence for the dark, and as followers did want for places of worship. To be plain, the standards which do adorn these walls belong not to those who built them, but to worshippers of the dark, the night's blessed, who subsequently migrated to the raktikka, yes? Indeed, 'twas beneath the shaded boughs of the raktikka greatwood that they finally found sanctuary. Oft and many times did Yulmore make spurious overtures of friendship unto them, but they are no fools. The exarch knoweth full well that Ishtula, in her seclusion, doth labor to learn all she may of the blessed and their past. 'Twas why he sent us here, I now see. The tablet of which he spoke no doubt provideth a glimpse into the history that she so yearneth to comprehend. Well then, we'd better hurry up and find it. I mean, it's a tablet. There we go. I had to scroll in. That's why it wasn't. Too much of the reticle was filled with other crap. Within the altar, thou sayest. Not, es- not escapeth thine eye, 'twould seem. This is indeed the tablet we seek. Curious, these engravings predate the knights blessed. If I am not mistaken, they are written in the script of the ancient empire of Veronica, whose capital once stood in the midst of what is now raktikka. 'Twill be no small matter to decipher them. A fine gift for our seeker of truth. 'Tis plain the exarch understandeth the Shola only too well. But come, let us quit this place and make ready for a journey into the woods. Ere we depart, there's a custom the knights bless which I feel compelled to elucidate. As one might expect, they deem light to be abhorrent, and everything it touches is befouled. Thus do they take the utmost pains to protect all they can from taint, including their very names. To speak plain, it is belief of the blessed that one's own name must never be uttered in the light of the everlasting day. Yet this commandment precludeth not the use of another's. Thus do parents protect their children, in rare cases masters their disciples. So it is that Ishtola has taken the name of Master Matoya. Lest we offend them, I bid you speak not her true name in the Blessed's presence. With that in mind, let us speak with the guard who keepeth vigil at the great wood's border. Oh, right there. Just not where I was actually expecting it to be. Well, my traveler, what business brings you here? Yes, of course, right this way. Displaying our Asian counterpart meaneth to follow wheresoever we lead, or otherwise he would not offer the overabundance of light in these woods. Verily it pervadeth every corner, and so long as the Light Warden remaineth, the sin-eaters shall be free to prey upon these lands without surcease. If naught is done, 'tis but a matter of time before the blessed succumb. 2 years past, a swarm of sin-eaters did lay waste unto their largest settlement, killing a great many of their priests in so doing. Though some few did survive, they knew not how to go on, wayward souls in want of a guiding hand. For mercy Shola hath provided that which they solely or sorely needed. They have since endeavored to restore their home, and thither shall we bend our steps to Fort Grom. modifying some your rewards. I got for some games I eventually want to do. I've got some ideas of some things to do. Just there we go. Sorry, I had to. Something was up with the preview computer, or well, the computer I use to preview everything. Kupo? But eh, Nice to see you too, Master Matoya. You've been busy since arriving the first, I gather, but I would hear the tale of your travels in more suitable surroundings. With Fort Grand yet to be rebuilt, the Knights Blessed have made their home in a settlement to the northeast. I will await you at its entrance. Follow a path through yonder gate, and you will find me soon enough. There you are. I was going to worry. Much like the Twelves would, this force has a way of dealing with those who stray too far from the beaten path. But I digress. Let me show you the home of the Knights Blessed. Excuse me. Yup. Oh yeah, I need to empty my goddamn inventory. Okay, that should be enough to get me by for a little bit. Ishtola is staring off into the distance, lost in thought. I am not indifferent to Thancred's troubles. Nevertheless, I will not apologize for holding him to a higher standard after all these years. He has ever been a man of considerable resolve, and that is what I will continue to expect. Though it heartens me to know that some of us remain ourselves in spite of our present circumstances. I can but imagine how Alice and Alphino have changed since arriving here in the first. You're right, and after my untoward remarks to Thancred, no doubt he thinks I changed for the worst. I will have to speak with him later. Ahem, returning to the matter at hand, I really must begin work on deciphering this tablet. In the meantime, perhaps you should take a look about Slitherbow? If there's anything you need, pray speak with Runar at the plaza. Welcome, friend, welcome. My apologies for our less than hospitable greeting earlier. Tell me, what is your name? From where do you hail? From the Crystarium, I see, and this tablet you brought may help us find the Light Warden here in Raktikka. Well, you are welcome to stay with us for as long as you need. Come, let me show you around. Would it be alright if I joined you? Of course, anything for the guests of our dear Master Matoya. Thank you. She means a great deal to the Knights Blessed, doesn't she? If not for her, we may have all perished in the great fire. With our priests slain, our home in ruins, we were at the mercy of the Sin Eaters. It was she who drove them back, and with her sage guidance, we were able to rebuild. Before long, she became a central figure in our community, a great oak within whose shadow many have come to find solace. That is not to say there were not those hesitant to grant an outsider such authority, myself included. Perhaps it is the smile in her eyes when she speaks of the sunless sea. I feel whole again. Now that she is with us, and I have no doubt the others feel the same. She is as much a part of the Knights Blessed as any of us, and we are grateful for all she does in service to the dark. But you did not hear this from me, yes? Now, you should know there are certain customs we ask guests to adhere to, so long as they reside within Slitherbaugh. To show reverence to the dark? In a word, yes, but fear not, it is not too involved. Let's begin with something simple. Follow me. I was doing the find the false games in for the Steam Summer Sale, and one of them just amused me so much that it's just like I kind of wish this was a real game. And that was Custard Castle Small Claims Court. It's the second clue. Um, and it's just like you start up a city and you have to deal with the legal battles, and it's basically like uh, Judge Judy and such. Basically, what the actual description of it reads. It's like I wish this was a real game. Should you see any of our people come to this chamber, they have likely returned from a journey beyond the borders of Raktikka. We use the water stored here to cleanse ourselves of the light's impurity. A simple and perhaps peculiar custom, but is one of our most important. Would you two kneel just a moment that I might rid you of the light's impurity? As Runar lightly sprays you with water, your skin begins to tingle. And with that, you have been cleansed of the light's blighted touch. How do you feel? I'm not sure, to be honest. Not refreshed exactly, but I do feel different. Has this water been treated in some way? Only blessed by our priests, they are practiced in the arcane arts. As such, it is said their prayers imbue the water with a faint, dark energy. A prickling sensation. No one has ever spoken of such a reaction before. I wouldn't say it was an unpleasant sensation, but I too felt something strange. The dark aspect of this water shouldn't have no discernible effect unless. By the gods, Master Matoya was right. You are sin eaters. Well, fuck. I jest. What you felt was likely no more than the chill of the water. Perhaps now would be a good time for you to acquaint yourselves with the people of Slitherbaugh. For that, I must teach you a customary greeting. Alan Tuta. In the language of Veronica, it is one of several ways one might say good evening. The word is the world is not as safe as it once was, and this greeting lets us quickly discern friend from foe. Is there a handshake or gesture we should know too? I would hate to offend anyone. You need not worry. Merely speak the words Alan Tuta, and they will know you as friends of the blessed. I will wait your return here. Now go. They're likely to be heartened by your knowledge of our ways. Excuse me. I've no business with strangers. Ah, newly come traveler. Welcome to Slitherbaugh. You must forgive us if we seem strange and reserved. We are quiet and taciturn people, silent and serene as a sunless sea. The quiet makes it easy to discern the presence of eaters and other dangers here in the woods. Alan Chisi, welcome, friend. I take it you remain in these woods for some time, yes? Be wary of these woods. You will find poison near everything you see. But fear not, our medicinal tea will keep you healthy. Ask and it is yours. Everyone was so kind and gracious. I was nervous at first, but already I'm starting to feel at home. There's still much I have to learn about the Knights Blessed, but their faith and strength of will is nothing short of inspiring. I can see how they've built such a thriving community. Judging by the glint in Runar's eye, there is more for you to learn about Slitherbaugh. Ah, you are returned. Very good. No doubt they were glad of your company. It has been too long since we've had visitors. Remember, if you have any questions or there is anything you need, do not hesitate to ask. Speaking of which, we must arrange food and lodgings for your stay. As friends of Master Montoya, we cannot ask for payment, but if you would be willing to lend a hand. We are fortunate indeed to play host to such generous souls. The task I have in mind is simple enough. All I ask is that you take a jug and water the crops in the square. May I help too? Of course. One of you can do the filling and the other the watering. Speak with Ursabel when you have finished. She will be relieved to hear the crops have been tended to. While you take care of that, I will see to your room and a warm meal. Right then, I'll fill the water. I'll fill you water. This was the only jug I could find which was small enough to lift, but I'm afraid there's a crack in the bottom. You'll need to hurry to the garden before all the water leaks out. It's a pretty generous amount of time, it feels like. Only half I see. Well, let me refill the jug for you. But even less time. Well met, travelers. I observed you earlier speaking with the others. Have you need of anything? You watered the crops? Ah, my apologies for not noticing sooner. I have been rather distracted of late. Watering crops was always a Todia's duty, but she is no longer with us. We have since taken to sharing the duty, though never with guests. You are most kind. Is there anything else we can do to help? We can plan something if you like. There's no need. The plot is small, it is true, but it provides us with enough to survive. We ask for no more. I don't know how you manage. Have the blessed not considered leaving? Life would surely be easier almost anywhere else. I can understand why you might say that, but the easiest path is not always the right one. Tell me, do you know our history? How our faith came to be? Yes, I believe so. The Knights Blessed were initially formed by those who lost their homes in the wake of the flood. What began as an occasional gathering of survivors eventually grew into a community, which ultimately decided to strike out on its own in the Raktikka Great Wood. I see you have read your history. But there's a history that is told and one that is lived. Like so many in those times, the first of the Knights Blessed lost everything, their homes, their loved ones, all they held dear. To make matters worse, none could say what became of the souls of those lost to the flood, when their bodies were reborn as sin eaters. The people were without answers, without hope, their gods having drowned along with everything else. It seemed that nothing was beyond the reach of the light. But soon they realized that where there is light, there must be darkness. And in that truth, they found a new faith, a belief that the souls of the departed could yet find peace beyond those burning skies and the sunless sea above. That is why we pray for the safe passage of wayward souls onto that blessed black abyss, for the return of the night, that we might some day look upon the kingdom of heaven with our own eyes. We remain in these woods for the self-same reason our founders first chose them, that we may lead lives of simplicity, with the shade of these trees as a constant reminder of our faith. With so many seeking paradise in Yomor, it's refreshing to find people who value a humbler existence. You're kind to say so. Many consider our way of life foolish, and so it must seem to those who yet cling to their worldly possessions. In times such as these, when everything can be taken away in an instant, it is all too easy to lose sight of why we fought to go on living. It is not to hold fast to material things, but to hold those who went before us in our hearts, to keep alive the legacy they have left us. This we must do for them, our children, and generations yet unborn. To keep their legacy alive. Lost but not forgotten. Done tending to the crops already. Very good. It should not be long before your room is ready. Runar, in the woods, sin eaters. I fear they may have the touch. Where? In the grove to the southwest. For mercy, they've yet to wander any closer to Slitherpaw. Then we have no need to engage. Inform the guard that no one is to set foot outside the village until they have moved on. But sir, what of Todia's hearthstone? It must be retrieved before the service. Of all the times for sin eaters to appear, are you just going to leave them alone? Under normal circumstances, we would not hesitate in striking the beast down. But if they indeed have the touch, I will not risk them corrupting one of our own. What was that you said about a stone? A few days past, Todia, a child of the Night's Blessed, was slain by the Sin Eaters. We succeeded in retrieving her body, but in our haste we failed to notice her necklace was gone. Strung to it was a pendant of jade, her hearthstone. All the Knights Blessed are given such a stone at birth. It is the most valuable possession one can own. It is custom to present the hearthstone of the deceased at their funeral as an offering to the heavens. But now, what if I could find it for you? I have experience fighting sin eaters, and the light's corruption does not touch me like it does others. Master Matoya called you Menphilia, did she not? Are you truly the Menphilia, descended from the Oracle? Even so, I dare not ask you to risk your life for the blessed. I understand how you feel, but I can't stand by knowing that your people are in need and I can help. Please, let me do this. Very well, but if the danger proves too great, you must retreat. I could never forgive myself if we were forced to hold a second service. I nearly forgot about Thancred. What if he returns before I do? Thank you. With you at my side, I'm certain we can deal with them in no time at all. Go swiftly, and may the shadows keep you both. There, the Sin Eaters. Hey, look up there and rank. I was hoping there would only be one. There's no way we can search for the stone without dealing with them first. What? Shouldn't we make a plan first? Ah! Who needs a plan? Though there are only two. I'll drive one of them away. You can deal with the other. There you are. It's done, though. I fear I was a bit careless. I'll do better next time, I promise. I'm fine. You needn't worry about me. More importantly, we have to find that heart stone. They said it was made of jade, right? I'll search over there in the brush. Aha! Did you have any luck? It's beautiful. This has to be it. You know, Thinkard always said you were a woman of many talents, and I think I'm beginning to understand what he meant. I have much to learn if I'm if I'm even to be half the hero you are. The hero she was. I'm sorry, forget I said anything. We should hurry back to Slitherball. Runar and the others are probably worried. She was no hero. She did jack all. I hadn't done the thing yet. That's bad of me. Thank goodness you're safe. I had begun to fear the worst. By all that is dark, you found it. We can proceed with her service as planned. These blessed gems serve not only to protect us in life, but to guide our spirits unto the sunless sea and the hereafter. Even should we be felled by the seniors, so long as these gems are recovered, our souls are ensured peace in the dark. Words fail to express my gratitude for this kindness you have done for the blessed. I must insist you and your friends around Todia's service as honored guests. There is still much we must do to prepare, but please go and inform the others you will be held in the darker. When you arrive, there should be an attendant present to explain the proceedings. Lucian learned so much about the Knight's Bless while you were away, and we helped them to recover a lost heirloom out in the woods. I know I wasn't supposed to leave, but they really need our help. There were sin eaters, and as long as she accompanied you, but do try to be more careful. Your injuries could have been a lot worse. How did you? Let's say a little bird told me and tell me that now the illusion is business with us. Is something the matter? They've asked us to attend the service. Of course we'll go. It's being held in the darker, is it? We'll take care not to be of late, I promise. I will see what I can do about that. Excuse me. Good to hear. Thanks to the Exarch's gift, our next course of action is now clear. Ishula seems quite pleased with herself, but whether she has good or bad news to share remains to be seen. Let me begin by first explaining the origins of this tablet. I initially believed it might detail the history of the Church of the First Light. Much to my surprise, it dates back to the end of the Ronkan Empire, and was likely written under the direction of the reigning ruler. It was a time of strife and unceasing war with neighboring nations. With each passing day, they yielded more and more territory to their enemies. And their desperation, petitions for aid were sent out to their allies. This was one such petition. And you think this ancient petition will somehow help us get to uh, Imaya? Indeed, we do. Fresh onto this tablet is a method by which one may prove themselves an ally of the Ronkan Empire. Provided we are able to decipher said instructions, we may entreat the rune's protectors to grant us safe passage. The problem, however, is I presently lack the resources to decipher them in their entirety. We have but one recourse. There exists a stone monument inscribed with ancient Ronkan texts and translations into a more modern dialect, which came into use after the fall of the Empire. I am confident it will suit our purposes. Where can we find this monument? Here in Sitia, quite close to Slitherbaugh, in fact. The good news ends there, however, for it is in the possession of a rather radical faction of dark worshippers, the Children of the Everlasting Dark. If I am to study the monument, I must infiltrate to their encampment. I have no intention of taking longer than absolutely necessary, but I will nevertheless require time to transcribe the text. I need to ensure that I will have enough. I'm afraid I must ask you and Thancred to assist me. And there, before you even ask, the answer is no. If we're to remain unseen, our group must be as small as possible. Alright, I'll stay here until you return. We won't be long. If anything should happen, you keep her safe. Then let's convene outside to the west of Slitherbaugh, where the path diverges. The encampment we seek is to the north, but it would be foolish to simply rush in. A guard has been posted at Cleric to keep watch over the children. Perhaps he has aught to share of their recent activity. But we must tread carefully. There is a chance we may encounter them along the way. Stay close and stay alert. I would avoid a confrontation if possible. They rejoice in dealing death to others, claiming that in doing so they cleanse their victims of sin and usher them unto the sunless sea. I'd rather not sully my hands defending myself against such madmen. By the blessed dark. Thank goodness you are unharmed. We would have arrived sooner, but we too had rather unwelcome visit from the children. You are an acquaintance of Master Matoya, then. My apologies. The children have been acting strange of late, so I thought to take a closer look. I was careless. Strange. What have you seen? At first there seemed to be nothing out of the ordinary, the usual gathering of greens for poisons from flora and fauna. But then I took notice of their venomous spiders. They've been breeding them in much greater numbers. It's as if they're preparing for something. Any ideas as to what? It could be anything, really. If it meant the end of the blessed, nothing would be too cruel or violent for them. But perhaps we can use their present preoccupation with spiders to our advantage. If we were to introduce a threat to the nest where they keep them, the children would be compelled to save them. Bees, for example, are a natural predator of spiders. Set them loose on the nest, and we'd have our opportunity to sneak into their encampment. What a mischievous plan! I like it. With a bit of smoke, we should be able to subdue a few colonies long enough to secure the hives. Have you anything we might be able to use? We should have smoke bombs at the outpost just over there. Then it's settled. Grab a few smoke bombs from the outpost and search about for beehives. I imagine the bees won't. I imagine the bees won't take too kindly to your visit, but once they're knocked out, take the beehives and bring them back here. 2 will suffice, I should think. Okay, so that's one beehive down. I passed by it. There it is. Grab the other. There we go. The guard returned to Slitherbob, but not before offering his thanks. As for the beehives, Thancred and I were successful in acquiring what we need. How did you fare? This is more than enough. The children are certain to be displeased. Let us hurry before the bees begin to stir. Ready to move. The children's settlement is to the west, a place they called Woven Oath. According to the guard, there is an airway apart from the entrance which leads to the spider's nests. If the fates are kind, the way will be clear. Oh, wait, I passed by where I need to go. There we go. Up there is the airway. Do you see it? A bit far, perhaps, but we should be able to toss the bag through. Though we should probably loosen the ropes, keeping it closed enough that it falls open when it lands inside. May I do the honors? Nah, that should do it. Now we wait. What is that? Bees, by the abyss, they're everywhere. Help, zone help, we have to save the spiders. It sounds like our plan is working. So it's quite likely not all were drawn away from their posts. If you come to blows with the children, I'll see to it any signs of struggle are concealed. Failing that, I'll create a distraction to buy Yashula more time. Should anyone get past me, it falls to you to guard her. Your concern is appreciated, but I sincerely doubt it will come to that. Why do I get the feeling you enjoy the idea of my loafing about bored in the shadows? Come now, Thinker, the shadows are a fitting place for a warrior of darkness. Now, if you both are ready. And why not just ride through all this? The font of seeing suggests this is a chamber for prayer. At the very least, they would not place this near potential distractions from their worship. Perhaps the monument is further in. Yes, this is it. I will be but a moment. Keep watch of the entryway. On second thought, would you mind examining the murals on these walls while I look over this? At a glance, I can tell they are old, predating the founding of the Blessed and the Children, in fact. We're not like to come here a second time. 'Twould behoove us to learn all that we can. The mural appears to be very old. A ruler sits atop a throne attended by their subjects. The mural appears to be fairly old. A knight shields himself and their comrades from an approaching darkness. The central figure is considerably faded. The mural appears to be ancient. A warrior in the middle stands triumphant over what appears to be a creature of shadow. Other figures surround the warrior, rejoicing in their victory. voice acting. Let's grab another. Make ourselves another drink. I believe I now have everything needed to finish deciphering the tablet. Tell me, did the murals appear to be of any significance? Depictions of heroes from the ages of gods, the Ronkan Empire, and immediately before the flood? Very astute observations. Perhaps in another lifetime you could be a curator of antiquities. Though it has no bearing on the task at hand, perhaps that knowledge may prove to be of use in the future. Hey, Goosey. Water you ask for. I need to fill my cup, and I do have a script written. We'll just need to do a Discord meeting sometime so you can record me. Give me a moment. Need to refill my water here. But how are you, Goosey? Hopefully you're doing well. And thank you for the hydrate. But if you notice, there are now two hydrates. Well, one says drink, the other's hydrate. Drink, it's going to be from whichever cup I choose, which usually one's going to have alcohol, one's not. One's going to be water. The other is going to be water. And thank you for the drink. I've got some other ideas for some things, but I gotta work some things out, and then I'm also going to start doing with specific games. If I can come up with any uh, specific viewer rewards for specific games I'm playing, I will certainly put those in. Ishtola's thirst for knowledge sated, she seems content to return to Slitherbaugh. Let us hurry to Slitherbaugh. The others are waiting. After we've returned, the two of you should rest a while. No doubt Runar will be eager to have you sample his cooking. As soon as I discover anything of import, you will be the first to know. But that's also because one may or may not be alcoholic. That's why it's like, we'll set that reward a bit higher. And then I also lowered the cost of hydrate. The guard told me you left with Master Matoya to Woven Oath. And no sooner do you return than she locks herself away in her chambers without so much a word. She knows how I worry when she leaves without telling me, but she is safe, and that is all that matters. You must be hungry after such a journey. Why not have a seat there by the fire? The stew will soon be ready. Um, well, Goosey, I know you have some bread there, but unfortunately, I do not. I have bagels, but no bread. Sorry, Goosey. Ah, shit. Goosey, ready your sword and shield. So you say. You are not that. Oh. because you're making a better world for those who come after you. Yes. Delusional much? Uh-huh. So you claim. Lovely. The guard hath been afflicted with the most terrible and efficacious poison. We have attempted all manner of healing incantations. Alas, his condition remains unchanged. At present, we can but slow the poison's advance. I pray it will afford us sufficient time to find a cure. The poison spread throughout his system long before he was brought here. At present, there's nothing we can do but try to ease his pain. Do not blame yourselves, my friends. All that can be done has been done. Even had we reached him sooner, it would have made little difference. The children employ countless poisons. Finding a suitable antidote is nigh impossible task. What of the rest of the blessed? How have they taken the news of Yulmore's generous proposition? With anger and dismay, we cannot hope to oppose both them and the children. I considered a convocation of all the knights blessed, that we might consider their ultimatum, but I know how they will answer. Master Matoya, I am truly sorry. We will not, cannot abandon our faith. But there is no reason for you to suffer our decision. Your work is not yet done, and you still have time to flee. Flee? I am not one to run from my troubles. In fact, with the Warrior of Darkness's help, arrival, I am minded to take the offensive. Your Morin's presence here plainly stems from a desire to protect the Light Warden. I say we seek it out and slay the creature before they return. Were darkness to fall over Raktikka, they would have no cause to remain. All of which is rather easier said than done, unless, of course, you finally deciphered that tablet. I have, as a matter of fact, and with it we can prepare everything we need to enter Imaya. What say you all? We will need to act quickly, but I believe it can be done. We cannot deny our fate, but one course lieth before us. God, I leave the blessed in your capable hands. Very well. I see there is no changing your mind, but all that is dark, I swear to keep the blessed safe. According to the tablet, we'll first need to obtain a seal used to identify the allies of Veronica in times past. One such seal should be waiting for us in a complex of underwater ruins. Not far from here. You have some experience with subaquatic excursions, do you not? Then this should prove a simple task for you. The ruins we seek are at the bottom of Lake Susi Mekta. While we see to that, Nfili and I will remain here to help shore up Slitherbaw's defenses. Your aid would be greatly appreciated. So we gotta go dive and we can go do that. That's easy enough task. There you are, ready for a swim? The seal we seek should be stored in a chamber somewhere inside the ruins, beneath the lake. However, the entrance is seemingly protected by a subtle locking mechanism, ruining the symbolism of Ronkan culture. The Ronkans sought to live in harmony with nature and considered certain animals to be sacred. Foremost in their pantheon was the snake, portrayed as the protector of the wood and arbiter of life and death. Below it were four others, each equal in rank: the Quirrell, the Calabri, the Opo Opo, and the Wolf, characterized as the bringers of liberty, words, enlightenment, and harmony, respectively. To open the chamber containing the seal, the tablet states that one must pay due reverence to three of these beasts by placing one's palm on the monument wrought in their image, and that this must be done in a specific sequence. If my interpretation is correct, the order can be discerned from the three commandments which follow. Give praise unto the snake, by its strength do our lands prosper. Be as the Opo Opo, rival thy kin. As all parts seek betterment, so too does the whole. Be as the wolf, move as one. Peace comes to all who seek harmony with their kin. The tablet says not to the replacement, size, or appearance of the monuments, alas. Hopefully all will become clear when you reach the bottom of the lake. Go safely. Knew there had to be a door around here somewhere. Why do you think I feel like this quest has been modified? Because I remember it being like you found all three at once, like it marked all three on the map at once, but then you had to actually use the clues and okay. So now I'm looking for a wolf statue. That's a bird. And it's back underwater. Okay, back to Ishtola now. Although I really don't think I'd swim that well with all this cloth on me. And the big scythe. So it's pretty good that we're able to breathe underwater. Did you find it? This medallion, it bears the owl insignia of the Empire. There can be no doubt this is the seal of Veronica. Well done. We can begin our preparations to enter Emaya in earnest. Waste no time in heading to Emaya. Bearing this seal, it should be possible to enter Emaya unmolested by its guardians. I'll go ahead to Slitherbaugh and inform the others. When you have recovered from your exertions, meet with us in the cavern leading east out of the village. Good, you're here. Runar opened the gate for us, but moments ago, beyond lies Emaya and presumably the Light Warden. It did not take long for the woods protectors to find me when I last came here. I expect them to fall upon us just as quickly this time. Though we carry the seal, that is no reason for us to let our guard down. Now, let us seek out the warden and put an end to its reign over these woods. Like, wait, shit! I like them. They're awesome. Who says they're not? They're just hiding. Come on. I'd have the seal that we may confirm its authenticity. Straight to the point, I see. Very well. There's no mistaking the crest of the royal family. It is of proper size, and by its weight is plain that it was made from gold. The seal is indeed genuine. For 3,000 years we have waited for this moment, and now you are finally here. I bid you welcome, allies of Ronka. I am Olmet, chiefness of Fanau. Olmet, her younger sister. Simet, a pleasure. We were beginning to lose hope that you would come. I beg your pardon? These are troubled times for my people. Though I can but imagine what has compelled you to venture into our woods. You must be tired after your journey. Come, take your ease. If you like, I will show you about the village. Though I must warn you, it is a long way down to the forest floor, so do watch your step. Staring intently in your general direction. This way. What is your name? And this is common name nowadays? How times change. But I digress. Come, and be sure to watch your step. As bearers of the seal, you have a right to know what became of the Empire and my people's purpose here. We are descendants of the palace guard, served under the last emperor. And to this day we carry on the duty of our forebears, the final decree of his eminence before Ronka's fall. By the wisdom of our people has Ronka made to thrive. Such knowledge must never be forgotten, nor may it be suffered to fall into the hands of the wicked. Keep it secret, keep it safe, and look to the coming of our allies. Unto them you shall bequeath our all, and thus will Ronka live on. By his command we have remained in the raktikka Greatwood, guardians of Ronka's ruins, and the wisdom held within. I hope thou wilt not think the question impertinent, but did thy people's famed longevity perchance play a part in the Emperor's decision to entrust this mission unto thee and thine? That was one reason, yes. We Vis would easily live to see 3 of your elven lifetimes. We are also the fiercest fighters. There are none more fit than us to stand watch over the remains of Ronka. But our duty has grown ever more perilous in the wake of the flood. Settlements such as this one were plentiful before the light claimed dominion over the land, but now, Fanal is all that remains. Our numbers dwindle year by year. Before long, there will be no one left to honor the Emperor's wishes. And you believe we are the allies for whom you have waited. You have the seal, do you not? After 3 millennia of waiting, that alone is nothing short of a miracle. Truth be told, I had begun to think you would never come. Sister, we are glad of your presence here in the Great Wood. The wisdom of Ronka is yours should you wish it. You only need to ask. You come in search of the Light Warden? My apologies, but I do not know where it makes its lair. Alma, do you recall any sightings of this creature? Not these past 30 summers. 30, but that would mean how old are you exactly? Young enough to remember. With age comes knowledge. There may not yet be one among us who has seen or heard of the abomination you speak, or you seek. We'll have leave to speak with the other beast then? But of course. Then we should split up and inquire individually. If someone knows something, I'd hear it while there is yet time to act. It was not my intention to pry, but your voice is carried far. I know what it is you would ask of me. Unfortunately, the answer is no. I have not seen the Light Warden. I patrol the ruin's perimeter regularly, and if it was hiding nearby, I would know about it. An outsider, but how? By the gods, allies of the Empire. My sincerest apologies for failing to note your arrival. It was the warden you wished to know about, yes? My mother, may she rest in peace, told me once of its appearance in these woods. Before settling here in Fanow, she lived in a village near Raktikka Falls, until it was destroyed by the Sin Eaters. While out on patrol one day, she spotted a swarm of the abominations, one of which was different from the rest. It was larger for one thing, but what struck her was the way its fellows seemed to revere it. She was convinced that what she had seen was the Light Warden. Someone in Discord server I'm in is like, 20 years ago, Lilo and Stitch came out. It's like, who the fuck is Lilo and Stitch? And they're like, I don't know. I don't have any. Like, it came out in 2002. It's like, I was a sophomore in high school. I have I give zero fucks about any Disney movie back then because I didn't care. They held zero interest to me. I mean, nowadays it's kind of like, let's see what it's about just so I can understand what culture, pop culture is all about. But I've witnessed the horrors of the lesser eaters, how they are wont to hunt in packs and carry off their victims rather than consuming them on the spot. I suspect the warden is a grotesque, corpulent thing waiting patiently for its minions to bring its next meal. You search for the Light Warden? I cannot say I have ever laid eyes on it. Our duty is to protect the ruins, nothing more. We have no need to strike out in search. We have no need to strike out in search of such a foe. Or no, I'm actually no, I might have been. I don't know. 20 years ago, I don't know where I was. I pray the others were able to provide what I could not. Near Artika Falls, why was I not told of this? I think I see now why it has never been spotted on our patrols. I've never heard of this Raktika Falls. I can but assume it lies deep within the woods of Imaya? Just so, but the tunnel which leads there collapsed after a rather bloody battle with the Eaters, and has not been passable for many years. We made several attempts to clear away the rubble, yet each time we were driven back. In the end, we were forced to give it up as lost, thereby making it a suitable place for the warden to take sanctuary. There's perhaps one way to enter, though it might be a great peril to you and your companions. The Kutana Ravel, a temple to the northeast. As been sealed for centuries, within it is a path that leads to the falls. Can it be opened? For the allies of the Veronica, it can. First, we must go to the Mall Astropolis. Once the flow of magic is restored there, the path through the Kutana can be opened. This may sound a simple task, but there are certain obstacles which prevent us from attending to it ourselves. And we know not how to overcome them. The Emperor never granted our forebears leave to look upon the secrets we are charged with protecting, that we might not be tempted. The means to do so were withheld from us. We can but show you the way, the rest will be up to you. It would seem we have our work cut out for us then, shall we? We have no time to waste. We're on deadline here. Got a village to save. Let us be about it then. If that is your wish, it is my duty to escort you. While we attend to matters at the Mole Astropolis, I would ask that your sisters accompany Orange and Thancred and share with them all they can in these woods. While we have every intention of investigating Raktika Falls, 'tis yet possible the Light Warden dwells elsewhere. With that in mind, it would behoove us to prepare an alternative course of action. Olmet, Simet, I leave them to you. Yes, sister. Should our present course prove false, doubt not but that Thancred and I shall find any and all possible paths forward. What you seek lies in the heart of the small Astropolis. Unfortunately, it too was sealed shut by order of his eminence. If we are to open it, we must first look to the morning stars. Come, I will show you the way. You are unable to keep up, I see. Well done. Ahead lie the morning stars, four monuments built in tribute to the guardians of Raktikka. Beyond them is the great pyramid of Uxner, where the flow of magic must be restored. It is said that the monuments are themselves the keys to opening the pyramid. Though I know not how, that is for you to discover. Another puzzle. Wonderful. I'd have a closer look. It is indeed another puzzle, but for a blessing it appears to be similar to the one we encountered at the lake. These statues are all depictions of divine beasts mentioned on the tablet. No doubt they will open the way into the pyramid in like a manner. We have to discern the correct order. Let's split up and search the area for clues. These ruins are covered in ancient inscriptions. The answer may well be hiding among them. Indeed, it may be best to transcribe them. If they are as numerous as you say, better that than risk overlooking something. Though transcription would prove impractical for you, not being versed in Ronkin script, no matter, you will employ a different approach: impressions. Here, I had thought to use these clay tablets to record any significant imagery we discovered, but it would serve you just as well. Take impressions of any inscription you find. We will start at the base of the pyramids. You begin at the top. When you have finished, return here and I will translate your findings. Oh, the motherfucker can jump. That ain't fair. What the hell did Discord just do? That son of a bitch. I trust you've made good use of those clay tablets. Well done. A moment while I decipher what you found. Apologies for the delay. Nothing we saw at the base of the pyramids gave any hint as to the solution of the puzzle. Focusing instead on how to proceed, having solved it, your findings, on the other hand, appear to form a riddle. Once assembled, it reads as follows: Come together, shall share despair. Go thy ways, dread burdens bear. Mark the crown, heed its call. Avert thy gaze, forever fall. I assumed that the puzzle would involve a sequence, but from what Alma and I were able to gather, it's but a matter of suffusing one of the statues with the ether. The question being, which one? Have you any thoughts? Given your talent for finding solutions to vexatious problems, I think it best that you choose a statue. What say you? Right then, after you have selected a statue, I imbue it with the required ether. Should it prove to be a trap, I am more than capable of warding off any malign magics it may contain. Now, which statue will it be? Um, Wait a minute, one more time. This was ever in here. Come together, share despair. Go thy ways, dread burdens bear. Mark the crown, heed its call. Avert thy gaze, forever fall. So go with the Oppo Oppo? Okay. Nope, was not Oppo Oppo. Let's try Owl. The ether has been absorbed. You really do have a talent for these things. The way should be clear now. Come, let us. Someone approaches. Sister, sister. Simet? What are you doing here? What has happened? Yomoran soldiers, they have entered Imaya. Yomoran soldiers, what are the blessed? Nothing specific, but it seems the Yomorans had little interest in Slitherball or its people. According to our scouts, our general and his men were made all haste for the gate to Imaya upon finding it. Together with Thancred, Olmet, and some few others, have engaged them at the border. You are to return and assist Olmet at once. They are not to set foot near the ruins of Fanau. We will see to matters here and return as quickly as we can. Understood? Yes, sister. Be careful. Though I knew time was short, I did not expect the Umorans to move so swiftly. But we have come too far to turn back now. Time is against us, friend. Quickly, into the pyramid. The switch will be through these doors in the confessional of Tapasa the Elder, but why is it not open? Magic appears flowing through the walls, but is being obstructed as it approaches the door. Is it not strange that only one of these pedestals bears an owl statue? Strange indeed, the second statue was likely hidden to keep the doors sealed. We can cover more ground if we split up. I'll take the chamber to the south. You take the one to the east. I will search the chamber to the west. I have looked everywhere and wait, is that? The statue, you found it. It looks light enough, we need but return it to the other altar, no? One might assume so, but nothing about these ruins has ever been quite so simple. I sense a strange energy emanating from the eyes of the statue. In the corners of this place, should this figure be moved, it would not surprise me for them to suddenly stir to life. A trap, then, for the unsuspecting as they attempt to return this to its rightful place. Precisely, caution would serve us well here. Which is why I'd ask you to deliver the statue to the main chamber. Abundance of magic yet courses through these walls. For my eyes, distractingly so. I believe yours, on the other hand, would more aptly perceive the traps for what they are. All right then, we'll meet you at the door of the confessional of Tupasa, the elder. My guess is I basically just have to avoid the gaze of these statues, so if you don't go directly in front of any of them, in theory, I should be okay. The statues returned, but was that enough? I believe it was. I can see ether flowing to the door now. I pray this means an end to the tricks and traps of these ruins. Well done. You are but one step from entering the Katana Revel, but I must warn you, this last step was without a question the most perilous. Overcome this final trial, and the path forward will open to you. A path laden with more puzzles and traps, I'm sure. Did the Emperor always take such pleasure in wasting the time of his allies? Let us end this, while time is yet on our side. Before we enter, I would tell you of the trial that awaits you. The chamber is said to be filled with all manner of devices to keep trespassers away from the switch. The most potent being wards of displacement. They may very well force you into danger. Should we become separated, please use these. Whisper weeds. They will allow us to communicate no matter where we may find ourselves. I think the Wearer of Darkness and I can work out how to use these well enough. Thank you. Alright, the sooner we finish here, the sooner we can return to the others. Yep, let us proceed. Well, then let me move. Let's go. I sort of remember this. I avoided them. How the how the fuck did you idiots not? This should end well. I can't move because you are talking. Oh shit. Indiana Jones time. Well, there's no going back now. I pray it is not much further. Since they have reached the temple, I fear they are too fast for us. Be careful of the traps inside. We are nearly there. It is unheard of for anyone to outpace the beasts. What is this man who comes after you? Could be Ranjit? If so, we have precious little time. No, the door wonderful. I can but imagine what waits us inside. There you are. Because you're an idiot. Your boss is going to disagree, I think. Are we going to lose her again? Or is she going to have this Gandalf moment? Where it goes from being Gandalf the Grey to Gandalf the White. No, no, they are not. Down the hole. Thankfully, Ranjit's cohorts had the good sense to fall back. Uma should be here soon, with word from Fanau. We should hold our position here until she arrives. And, well, let's end there for tonight. Is there anyone out there to raid at the moment? Let's raid Mauricio. We'll move over. Go ahead and copy and paste this into the chat. I'd like to thank you all for joining us here this evening. We'll be back tomorrow night. We'll be finishing, unless something multiplayer comes up, we'll be finishing up the Lost Odyssey tomorrow. Till then, have a wonderful rest of your day.